sharing with us your name and where you're from.
My name is Nolutando Kawere. I'm a 35 years old. I'm a South African married to a Congolese man.
You're welcome. You may share with us your testimony.
My testimony goes way back. My life has been a joke since I've started. When I was growing up, let me start by saying that I'll be very briefly because of the time. In the old days, in the previous years of my life, I've never knew God. So many things happen in my life whereby being raised by a stepmom and then also getting out of the home and then being on the street. And at the same time being a person of being raped so many times. And end up being in a street. Whereby being in a street I can do anything. I used to drink, I used to smoke. When the man of God used to say, there's nothing that he has never smoked in his life. Like, for instance, from Somalia, Kenya, whatever. Then I put myself in that. I've smoked with the Somalians. We smoke Mira. I smoke Dacha. I've drank tons of alcohol that you name it. Jack Daniels, Savannah, as you know, all the alcohol, all the type. I know them. So, in my life, at the stage of being in the streets and doing all these kind of things, being with this man tomorrow and the other one, and then the next day. Just God, while I was still in the streets, God, at that time, I didn't know him. I used to blame him for everything that I was doing, that I was a drunkard. It was all because of him. Because I grew in a home whereby my father was an evangelical man. But all of a sudden, I don't know. So I also, when I grew up, I had all this when I was growing up. But when also I grew up, I didn't witness his evangelical mission. So I said there was no God. Why did he let him to be like that? Also, he became a drunkard. So I thought that's the right way to do life. But little did I know that God was preparing me to be today, to be here. And to say the least, I met my husband. His name is John Kawere. I met him through all to be in a street. I want to say, please, allow me to say this. To all the African men, I salute you. Thank you for coming to South Africa. Little did I forget my people as well, my brothers. You were there, but Congolese men came to snap me away from your fingers. But anyway, okay. So when I met my husband, I was through on the street in the clubs and doing everything. As he was not a drinker, imagine having a girlfriend as a drinker. I made him to touch Handa's dry because I was so messed up. He wanted to be next to me wherever I was. Through that, because of his love that he had for me, he wanted to please me, even though I didn't see that he was there to love me and please me in all that. I used to leave him. I go to my parties. I called Joel. I leave him at home. But even then, he stood by me. Until the day I met the church in Maitland. I'm coming from different churches, like completely different from this one. Where I used to go, and then I step in the church, and then I get very bored. I go back to my drink. I say, this is pastor is wasting my time. When I reach Imo at Maitland, I went in. The man of God was preaching that day, as usual. He had keep on looking at my side. Then I was getting very annoyed. Then I was like, what's wrong with this pastor? And then I was looking for anything that was wrong in him, watching him. And then my husband was keep on saying, I know, Lotana, what you are thinking. We're not going until the service is finished. Then I said, I don't like this man. Then I said, okay, because it's almost few hours, and then I can go back to my drink and all that. Let me try to stay. When he touched, okay, there was a time for preparing for the visitors. When he touched me, he told me exactly what was the problem. He said, at night you dream about a spiritual husband. Then I said, because I still have that doubtful mind. I didn't know anything about God or spiritual stuff. I said, no. I denied him. Forgive me, the Lord. I denied him right and then. I know better now. I said, no, there's no such thing. But he could see what was going wrong with me, because when he touches my tummy, I felt like heat that goes through my blood and my body. After that, I said, we finished to pray for me, and then I fell down. When I went back home, I said to my husband, I need to try him again. Let me go quick. I've been coming to him, and then until we moved to Peru, things have changed completely, in a sense. Why? It's been, if I'm counting correctly, it's been 4 years. I've never touched alcohol. I don't smoke anymore. I'm a good mom, that I know, that I've never been. I spend time with my family, my husband and my kids. I just want to give God the glory for that. He has changed me completely.
Put your hands together louder for the Lord.
Get to the other part of my testimony. As some of us have witnessed so many times being prayed by Apostle Stefan, getting manifested. All my manifesting, I want to clear this thing. When I manifest myself personally, I'll be dreaming about that the day before, and then it will come to light. So whenever the man of God prays for me, I've always manifest. Then I said, Lord, I know you're doing your wonders, because you are breaking all those walls. From sleeping this man today and then tomorrow, those spirits are coming out. So I say also thank you for people for being with us, those who manifest. And then come to my second testimony. I had this boy, his name is Isaac. All of a sudden, a month ago, his eye, he came from school, he said his eye is itching. Then I took it very slightly. We carried on with our lives, and then I went to buy him an ointment at the pharmacy. Then I rubbed it on his eye. Then the following day, his eye, I could see that it's starting to swell up. It's starting to swell up, and then I sent him to crash still because I was going to work. When I came home, they said, the teachers, they said to me, there's really something is wrong with Isaac's eye, because now it has came to a point it was covered all up. When I took him home, then when I lay him on the bed, I could try to open the eye and see what was going on. I saw nothing. Then I decided to take him to Somerset Hospital. While I was in Somerset Hospital, I was attended by a small young female doctor. I could see this one is probably a student or something. She couldn't diagnose Isaac. She looked at Isaac, like, I'm not sure. Let me call the doctors at Red Cross. Maybe they can assist me because they work well with the kids. She took photos for Isaac to send to Red Cross so that they can diagnose him. While she was busy doing that, a senior doctor office came inside while she was busy with Isaac, and then they moved apart from the bed where Isaac was laying. I could hear them talking, saying, this child is very strange. She got a strange eye. And then the senior doctor said, I could see the cellulite growing in Isaac's eye because the eye was turning red. Isaac is a beautiful child, but he's quite dark. So I didn't know what the redness they see in him. I could hear that, and then they started to talk about the third foreigner that is in the eye. And then I stood up, I said, no. You guys, you are talking about third foreigners that are in the eye. I'm the mother of the child. I think I deserve to know what's going on. Don't discuss it. Discuss it with me. I'm right here. So the doctor explained to me, he said, I'm afraid of this child right now where he is. He can be affected by meningitis in a sense whereby the redness, it's called a cellulite. It affects the brain at the back. So what happens anytime he can get a meningitis? So you want us to sleep over at Somerset. I said, God, this, whatever they are saying, it's not my portion. For my child's portion as well. Then they said, okay, let's try for you not to sleep at Somerset because they expect in a Red Cross. Let's take you to Red Cross. So they organize an ambulance. They transmit to Red Cross. I got to Red Cross. It was busy as usual. Sick kids, they needed to be attended first. And then while I was sitting at Red Cross, remember, still waiting for the doctor. Then I called my husband. I said, they are talking about the operation and all those kind of things. Like they need to really clean whatever's going on. Then my husband said, there shall be no operation. Then I took away that from him. I said, okay, it is time now, Nolutando, to use your faith. I said, while I was sitting, I had Isaac on my lap. The eye is covered up. He cannot see with one eye. He can only use one eye. I don't even see the actual eye in him, as you can see on the screen. So I took my wristband that I was given by the apostle. Okay. I took my wristband. I slightly, because we were full in the room, in a waiting room. Some of the people, if you start doing strange things, they start looking around. I said, okay, it is for the glory of God. So one mama was sitting next to me. She was watching me like a hawk. I said, okay, right now I'm in a point whereby I don't really care. I took my wristband, then I rubbed it around Isaac's eye. Then I said, you wristband, I have seen you doing wonders to people. Now it's my turn also to use you. Bear in mind, I normally use my wristband to meditate whenever I have a chance. You know how we are. But that time, something just came up in me, said, rub that wristband on that eye's child, of which I did. I said, Father of Apostle Stephan, Father of TB Joshua, show your mercies upon this child. I'm not going to have a one-eye child. His eyes shall be healed. While we were busy, immediately they called us. It's my turn now to go to the doctor's room. The one who said we need to be transferred, that's so that he can diagnose Isaac nicely for operation and all those kind of things. While we were inside, Isaac was starting to play now. It amazed me. Isaac started to play, and then the doctor's like, she called another second one. She said, but this child is acting very strange compared to what I saw earlier on. He said, this redness is disappearing. What I've seen in the photos, it's going away. Then I said, oh, my God, you are at work. And then when she looked at Isaac's eye, she tried to open it up. Then she said, maybe there might be something that is inside that is irritating the eye. Then I knew, no, it's not. It's an attack for me as Norotando, I know, where I'm coming from, my church, my teachings. Then the eye, when we left, the doctor told us, my dear, I've prepared the bed for you guys to sleep over for the baby, but I don't see the use of you people sleeping over. You must go home. People of God, I promise you, when we got home, his father, I kept on sending him the pictures, the progress of Isaac. How is he doing? All of a sudden, the eye became open as you can see him. His eyes is okay. They told us to come back on a Friday, back to Red Cross. We said we're not going back because we know the power that we are under. We never went back. Okay, the last one, sorry. It's not easy for me to come to the front, so I need to do them as quick as I can. While I'm still standing here, God has given me the power. He has overpowered the devil, because whenever I do my testimonies, it's always true about that time I'll be manifesting. So I'm here to shame him now. And I didn't even tell my husband that I'll be into the testimony. I told no one. 3 weeks ago, went to work, doing my duties as normal, went to work. I run a bakery at Pyden Island, those one who knows me. Whereby there, we normally, on Fridays, we normally bribe for people. We normally have a spike. It's like those who work in a restaurant or hotel, they will know the spike. The chef uses to spike the slips. So I'm very careful when it comes to that thing, because I know it can hurt someone. This day, I came to work as normal. We opened the shop. I didn't see that on the previous Friday we left the spike on behind on the table. I opened the windows as normal, like the blinds. I went up on the chair and then I tried to open. I slipped on that chair. So when I tried to balance, I balanced on the spike. It went right through my hand all the way on the other side. I had that spike, and then when I look in my hand, because I didn't see blood, I didn't see nothing, it was just dry. Then I said the first person was in front of me was old Papa was in front of me. He wanted to pay for something. Then I asked him, Papa, can you pull this out? Then Papa said no to me. He said, no, my daughter, I cannot do that. You need to be seen by a proper doctor. At that point, I'm that kind of a person who's very, very strong woman, sorry to say. I attack anything that comes my way. So I said to Papa, if you're scared, then I'll pull it out myself. He said, no, my daughter, please, I beg you. Don't do that. Rather get this taken in a hospital. While I was going, I said, okay, let me go inform my boss. When I met my boss, obviously he's an old man. He said to me, no, do you want to kill me? Do you want to give me a heart attack? What did you do to yourself? He said, okay, call the driver to take you to hospital. We jumped in his car. He gave us his keys. We will rush to the hospital. On our way to hospital, because my boss said the nearest hospital. So the driver of my work, he wants to take me to any hospital. He wants to take me to Somerset. I said, my dear, I deserve better because it happened at work. You will take me in a very special hospital. We stood there about 10 minutes arguing about where to go on the road. Officer said to him, I know how to drive. If you cannot drive me, move aside. Let me drive myself. He said, okay, where do you want to go? I said, not government. I've been working for these people for long. Take me to Mediclinic. He drove me to Mediclinic Hospital in Millanton. Get there, and then they assessed me, and they saw what was wrong. But now they saw that my hand was not bleeding. That's what scared them. Because the spike is just sitting there, doing nothing, not moving, just sitting. Now the doctor decided to panic. They said, my sister, this can cause so much damage in your hands. It's like your hand can be paralyzed anytime. So we need to act fast. I called my husband. My husband came in, and then we were all together in a room. When when the doctor saw that my hand is not bleeding, they told me exactly what's going to happen to me. They say I must fill up the paperwork to say that I'm agreeing for operation, and then someone is going to pay for the operation. As you guys know, private, you don't just go. So I said my boss will be paying. They sent him the papers. All of a sudden, when he was signing the papers, all the emails for the hospital, they shut down. Now my driver that I was with, I had to tell him, okay, they must give you the paper, you rush them to where I work, and then you let them, the boss sign there for them, and then they come back as quickly as you can. Because I see this is one of the attacks as well. I took my wristband again. If you can see that hand, I have my wristband again. Then I say, wristband, a month ago you have shown the healing on my son. I call the same spirit to come and heal these hands. There shall be no operation. I'll be going home with a full hand. Then my husband, we prayed in that room there. And then he left the hospital. While I was there, the doctors were busy with me. They took me to the x-ray. X-ray whereby the first x-ray was not clear. They didn't understand it, what went wrong. They did the second one. Then I said, okay, this is a delay. They want me to get more damage. The devil is a liar. I take my wristband, then I rub it. While the lady, she went to check, I rub it on those tables they put on the x-ray. I rub it there as well. When she came back again to do the second one, everything went well. Said, Mama, you are done. You can go back back to your doctor where you came from. While I was there, the doctor said, I see, strange thing. The spike that is in your hands, it missed the nerves so little, in a sense whereby your hand supposed to be numb and done with the paralyzed and all that kind of things. I said, I know. It's not you guys, it's my God and my husband. Then I went for the small operation, that's for them to remove the spike. And then they remove it so well, in a sense whereby I felt nothing. I couldn't even feel anything when it went out. And then they just covered it up, the wounds, and I was off to go. I didn't even sleep, I did nothing.
Ma'am, we rejoice with you for the miracle that the Lord has worked on your behalf and your entire family as a whole, and how you applied your faith and brought the power of God down into your midst. What word of encouragement would you like to share with people going through what you have survived?
Wow. First of all, I will say thank you for this ministry. I thank God. Because I've been all over, as I've said before. I've never seen this power. I said to the women that are out there that they are fighting with their husbands. As they always say, we must be submissive. It's not easy to be submissive. I'm not saying I'm submissive. I got my days. But what I'm trying to say is, let's love these men. They are sent above to come to us. I said to all those ones also who went through what I went through when I was a child. On the day of remember when we had the seminar about how, teaching us how to, in the marriages, in a while back, there was a papa who spoke about his childhood, also how he was raised by his stepmom, and he forgive. I say, forgiveness, it is the key that breaks any chain. I saw it through me. I didn't have forgiveness. But when I listened to the preachings and I read the Bible for the first time, I said, okay, let me try to use this tool of forgiving. Then I'll see where it takes me. And people of God, it has taken me so many ways. What I'm trying to say is, to be short, let's learn to love one another. Let's learn to forgive. Those are my keys. Thank you.
Share about how your union was before Christ and what it is today.
Good morning, church. Yes, my name is John Majan Kawere. And people, they said, majority of people asked me, where am I from? Some, they said, I'm from Congo. Some, they said, I'm Nigeria. Some, they said, I'm Cameroonian. Some, they said, I'm a Zimbabwean. And some, they said, I'm South African as well. But let me tell you, I am a citizen of heaven. Yes, as my wife have said, first the lady standing behind me, beside me, she's my lovely wife, and like the way she said, everything what she said is true. And what I just want to say, yes, before now, we were living as a cat and the rat, as people they know, the Tom and Jerry show, inside the house. So it was not easy. It was not easy at all. But by the precious grace of God, we have found this ministry way back ago, since Maitland, as the way she said, and God has blessed us so much. And God has favored us so that we may live happily as husband and wife. So now I come to say thank you and the glory be to God for everything which I've done to restore my marriage. All the glory goes to God. Amen.